Congratulations, you've just hatched as a dodo bird. Welcome to the world, you chunky, flightless wonder. You pop out of your egg on the island of Mauritius, surrounded by lush forests and beaches that look like a postcard from a travel agency nobody can afford. But here's the bad news. You're a dodo, and your life is about to be a tragic comedy of errors, like a sitcom canceled after one season. Buckle up, because being a dodo is a masterclass in bad luck, worse decisions, and extinction-level awkwardness. Your first moments are pure chaos. You're a fluffy, oversized pigeon with a beak that looks like it was designed by a drunk architect. Your parents? Barely paying attention. They've laid their egg in a shoddy nest on the ground. Because why bother climbing a tree when you can't fly? You're wobbling around on legs that feel like they were borrowed from a toddler learning to walk. Your job? Survive in a world where everything is a predator, and you're basically a walking Happy Meal. As a baby dodo, you're not exactly winning any survival awards. You're covered in downy feathers that make you look like a rejected Muppet, and your main defense mechanism is waddling away slowly. Your diet? Fruit, seeds, and the occasional bug you accidentally step on. You're not hunting, you're grazing like a feathered cow. The forest is full of juicy tamarind fruits, but you have to compete with crabs that pinch harder than your grandma at a family reunion. And don't even think about flying to safety. Your wings are as useful as a screen door on a submarine. By the time you're a juvenile dodo, let's call it your toddler phase, you've upgraded to slightly less fluff and a whole lot more attitude. You're strutting around Mauritius like you own the place, but in reality, you're just a 50-pound target for anything with teeth. You've mastered the art of pecking at fallen fruit, but your coordination is so bad you trip over roots like you're auditioning for a slapstick comedy. Your social skills? Non-existent. Dodos don't exactly have playdates. You're either eating, sleeping, or staring blankly at a tree, wondering why life feels so unfair. Here's where things get spicy. You're a teenager now, and you're starting to notice other dodos. You waddle up to a potential mate, trying to look cool with your oversized beak and beady eyes. Spoiler alert, you look like a potato with legs. Courtship as a dodo is less romantic sunset and more awkward middle school dance. You bob your head, make some weird honking noises, and hope for the best. If you're lucky, another dodo might honk back. If not, you're left standing there, questioning all your life choices. Crushes hit hard, like realizing your favorite fruit tree got claimed by a rival dodo who's somehow buffer than you. By young adulthood, you're a fully grown dodo. Congratulations. You're a whopping 3 feet tall and built like a feathered bowling ball. You've got no predators on Mauritius. Yet. Life is simple. Eat fruit, nap in the shade, repeat. But here's the kicker. You're so trusting, it's practically a personality flaw. You see a strange new creature, like, say, a human sailor stepping off a ship in the 1590s, and your first thought is, oh, cool, a new friend. Spoiler, they're not here to be your buddy. These humans are about to turn your island into a drive-thru for hungry sailors, and you're the main course. Let's talk about those humans. The Dutch show up in 1598, and suddenly your peaceful island life is over. They look at you, with your goofy walk and zero survival instincts, and think, dinner. You're not exactly Usain Bolt. Your top speed is a leisurely jog. Trying to escape is like watching a Roomba stuck in a corner. The sailors start clubbing dodos like it's a twisted carnival game, and you're the prize nobody wants. Your population takes a nosedive faster than a TikTok trend after a week. Oh, and it gets worse. The humans didn't just bring their appetites, they brought friends. Pigs, rats, and monkeys hitch a ride on their ships, and these guys are not here to vibe. The pigs eat your eggs like they're at an all-you-can-eat buffet. The rats sneak into your nest like tiny ninjas, stealing anything edible. And the monkeys? They're just jerks, knocking fruit out of trees before you can get to it. Your whole world is turning into a chaotic episode of Survivor, Mauritius, and you're the contestant who gets voted off first. By now, you're starting to realize life as a dodo is a raw deal. You're not built for this. Your beak is great for cracking fruit but useless against a pig that's decided your nest is its new snack bar. You try to adapt, maybe hiding your eggs under some leaves, but the rats are like, nice try, buddy. You're out here living your best life, just trying to eat a mango in peace, but the universe has other plans. Every day feels like a new episode of How to Lose at Evolution. Fast forward to your prime dodo years. Let's say your mid-20s and bird years. You've somehow survived the human invasion, but the island is looking rough. The forests are being chopped down for ship repairs, and your favorite fruit trees are disappearing faster than free samples at Costco. You're still waddling around, trying to find a mate, but the dating pool is shrinking. Every other dodo you meet is either stressed out or already taken. You start to wonder if you should have swiped right on that one dodo who honked at you last year. Parenthood as a dodo? Good luck. If you manage to find a mate and lay an egg, you're basically playing Russian roulette with nature. You build a nest on the ground because, again, you're not winning any smart bird awards, and then spend your days guarding it from rats, pigs, and those creepy crabs that keep side-eyeing you. If your egg hatches, your chick is just as clueless as you were, wobbling around like a drunk penguin. You try to teach it the ways of the dodo, but deep down, you know the odds are stacked against you. By the 1660s, things are looking grim. The human population on Mauritius is growing, and they're not exactly throwing you a welcome party. You hear rumors of dodos being shipped off to Europe as exotic pets. But let's be real, you're not cut out for a life in a cage. You're a free-spirited island bird, not a zoo exhibit. Your friends are disappearing, either eaten, captured, or just gone. You start to feel like the last blockbuster in a Netflix world. Loneliness creeps in, and you spend your days waddling along the beach, wondering where it all went wrong. Let's talk about your midlife crisis, dodo style. You're in your 30s now. If you've made it this far, you're basically a dodo superhero. You start questioning everything. Why can't you fly? Why didn't you evolve claws or, any useful survival skills? You try to spice things up by exploring a new part of the island, but it's just more humans and fewer trees. You consider drastic moves like waddling into the ocean to find yourself. But you're not exactly Michael Phelps. The existential dread is real, and you're out here philosophizing like a feathered Socrates. By your 40s and 50s, you're a seasoned dodo. You've seen things. You've dodged pigs, outsmarted rats, barely, and maybe even survived a close encounter with a sailor's club. You've got stories, most of them involving fruit, failure, or both. You start yelling at the younger dodos, "Back in my day, we had trees." But they just stare at you, confused. You're the grumpy old bird at the community center, complaining about the lack of good tamarind. Your hobbies? Pecking at pebbles and napping in the sun. It's not glamorous, but it's yours. The 1680s roll around, and you're one of the last dodos standing. The island is a ghost town for your kind. The forests are gone, replaced by sugarcane fields and human settlements. Your diet is down to whatever scraps you can scavenge. Think overripe fruit and the occasional leaf that doesn't taste like despair. You're still waddling, still honking, but it's starting to feel pointless. You're not just fighting for survival now, you're fighting to be remembered. Spoiler, history's not going to be kind to you. Old age as a dodo is bleak. You're in your 60s, and your feathers are falling out like a bad toupee. Your beak's got more chips than a Vegas casino, and your legs creak like an old rocking chair. You spend your days reminiscing about the good old days when Mauritius was a dodo paradise. You tell stories to the crabs, who don't care, and the monkeys, who laugh. You're basically the bird equivalent of that guy at the diner who won't stop talking about his high school football days. Here's the gut punch. You're not just a dodo, you're the dodo, one of the last of your kind. By the 1690s, your species is functionally extinct. You're waddling through a world that's moved on without you. The humans don't even bother hunting you anymore. They're too busy building their empire. You spot a ship on the horizon, and for a brief moment, you wonder if you could stow away to a new island, start fresh. But deep down, you know it's over. Your legacy? A cautionary tale about trusting humans and not evolving fast enough. One day, you're pecking at a rotten mango, minding your own business, when a pig charges out of nowhere. You try to waddle away, but your legs aren't what they used to be. The pig doesn't even want to eat you. It just wants your mango. You flop over, exhausted, and stare at the sky. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is how it ends. Not with a bang, but with a sad little honk. You close your eyes, hoping someone, somewhere, will remember the dodo as more than a punchline. But let's be real. Your legacy isn't all doom and gloom. Sure, you're extinct, but you're iconic. Humans will spend centuries talking about you, drawing you, and making you the poster child for, oops, we messed up. Museums will display your bones like they're the Mona Lisa. Scientists will argue over what you actually looked like. And every time someone says, dead as a dodo, you'll get a little nod from history. You were here, you waddled, you honked. That's gotta count for something. As the final credits roll on your dodo life, you hope someone remembers you for more than your bad luck. Maybe they'll remember your goofy strut or the way you made the best of a world that wasn't built for you. Maybe, just maybe, some kid in a museum will see your skeleton and think, that bird was kind of a badass. And with that, you fade into the sunset, a feathered legend in a world that didn't deserve you. End with a slow fade to black, maybe a sad honk sound effect, and text on screen, dedicated to the dodo, the ultimate underdog.